If you're in the market for maybe a patio cover or new windows in your home, Pat Doherty, owner of Windows of Greater Tucson, is here with some great options for us. And Pat, with the temperatures outside, we should probably start thinking about patio stuff.
Well, you hear it all the time. Different people saying we have this beautiful back porch, but how do we get rid of the heat?
Right. So you're going to kind of talk to us about, is it a lattice? Am I saying it right?
You're saying lattice is correct.
Okay.
Some people call it pergolas.
Oh.
You know, it's both in a way. Usually a pergola just kind of means it's freestanding. It's out front. And there's two ways you can do it. You can either have an attached lattice to the house, or you can have a pergola, a freestanding, what they would call it, freestanding way. They're all built out of aluminum, and we've taken a lot of wood ones out. So you don't, and because the wood dries out, you have to paint it all the time. It rots, you know, and it gets termite. Where if you do aluminum, it's lifetime warranty. Yep. You never have to paint it. It's built for the heat. It's built in Mesa. So, I mean, to give you an idea, is to keep it kind of simple in a way, you always will have like if you're building one attaching it to the house, you will put two poles in the ground. So you put steel poles and put them in the ground. Okay. And then it has a sleeve on it, and it's in the concrete, so it's in 2 by 2 feet of concrete, so that it'll stay there. Then you put the 3 by 8 lattice beam across, and depends on the size, it'll have steel inside of it to give it more strength. Then you'll attach something like this, what they call the rafters. Okay. Comes off the house, attach it to that. Then you'll put your lattice, and standard in the industry is every 2 inches. Now you could do a 2 by 2, we do that sometimes, and do it that way. It depends sometimes on the location of you're in east-west. You want to make sure that you probably want to go it the other way. And you would go that way because you want to have the sun block it this way. Yep. Because sometimes I'll be to a house and they'll have an old wood one and it's the wrong way and it blocks it out.
And so you go over all of this.
We go over all of it.
With the person and their house and the sun facing and everything. Everything.
And measure it and look at the size and determine. Now, you can do different things, and you've had some pictures up there, where you can curve it if you want. Okay. And there are some that we've done that are really curvy to match like the stone that they have, or their sidewalk, or the porch, or whatever they want. There's an array of different colors. Yeah, I see the colors there. Now, the pictures were even showing some of the different colors. Different colors, yeah. Right. It depends on the colors. Now, what we also do, what makes it kind of unique, is that we'll do all the paperwork for them. Because if you go to most houses, most will have an HOA. So you got to get HOA approval. And then it depends on where it is. If it's a city, or if it's Oro Valley, or Marana, or the county, you got to get certain permits. Depends on the size of it. Okay. And every municipality kind of determines that. But we do all that stuff because if I do it, I can speed it up, and I know what they have to do. I give them the paperwork and the drawings and the engineering specs to be able to do it. And I know when it comes to the cost of this, we're talking about you coming out and talking to everyone and what's best for each home. You guys really are cost effective because you guys are coming out there. There's not necessarily overhead for this. Well, I guess that's one of the key things, if I put it in quotes of what makes me different, is I don't have the overhead expense. Right. And if I don't have to have a showroom that you're paying, it's the same with when we do windows or something. It's like people are shocked they'll get these crazy high prices, and they'll go, how can you do it for this? Well, every business has to make a profit, but you don't have to take advantage of people. Right. Because our philosophy is very simple. One is to make you happy, and if you don't know it yet, but you're going to be part of the sales team. And it's old-fashioned, but referral. Yep. And if people are happy and they come and they look at either the lattice or they look at the windows and they find out what they paid for it, they go, my God, I had a crazy price of this, this, or this. And there are some places just crazy prices. But if you can keep overhead down, because there's no sense in having, like everything else in the industry is changing. So why would you have a showroom that you're not going to come visit it anyways? Right. Why are you paying for it? Exactly. Because that's built-in costs that has to do it that way. And I know we're talking about the lattices today. I'm glad we are, because maybe some people didn't know you did that or covered that. But we don't want to forget, you guys are still handling windows. We're handling windows like there's no tomorrow. And I mean, a phenomenal window that, you know, get rid of the heat, get rid of the noise, get rid of the dust. Our window even has a sliding screen that makes it unique on the back, and very few people have that. But it was kind of an evolution where people say, you did our house, love it, the heat's gone, but what do we do at the back porch? Yeah. You know, and it isn't that, not to oversimplify it, but it's not that complicated. It really isn't. It's almost like an erector set. It goes up, boom, solid, and it goes together.
And like I was saying, we are having a little bit of high temperatures today and tomorrow. Do this now before we're in those triple digits. Your porch is already taken care of. Your patio is already taken care of. You know you can go out, get the nice heat off. The windows are taking care of the heat, and your peace of mind already.
It's always. I mean, I've heard it. If I've heard it once, I've heard it hundreds of times. We have this beautiful back porch, but certain times of the day we can't even go out there.
Exactly.
So why do you have all this beautiful backyard and you can't even use it?
You can't do it.
And it isn't. You know, it goes by the square footage in the industry-wide when they sell it, but we don't get beat very often. It just if you don't have the overhead expense, it'll make a difference.
Well, let's let them get that quote and know it for themselves, because I'm going to tell them how to get a hold of you, Pat. Thank you so much for coming in again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. To learn more about Windows of Greater Tucson, call 488-9469 or visit windowsofgreatertucson.com.